there are many films about beauty pageants, and some of them work, and some of them are cliche. I have to say Drop Dead Gorgeous is pretty decent, quite intense. The narrative isn't that unique. It's a little bit slow at times, but it does have a phenomenal cast that really made it really engaging, because it kind of meant that whenever there was any scene, there was at least one person in it who I was either rooting for, who I wanted to win the pageant, or who I wanted to, get the better of somebody. There was always somebody on screen who I liked, who I thought was really great for the role. So in that respect, pretty decent to watch. It was nice to see the contestants, but for the most part, it's a fairly average film. But there are a few things peppered in it that make it just above average. It was released in 1999, directed by Michael Patrick Jann, with a script by Lona Williams, and stars a pretty amazing cast. We have Kirsten Dunst and Denise Richards, Kirstie Alley, who I love, slightly I'm in love with Kirstie Alley, Brittany Murphy, Amy Adams, and a whole host of other names that I recognise. So the cast alone makes this something that I absolutely really wanted to watch, and even though I think it's just slightly above average, because of that phenomenal cast, I would watch it again, because it was really interesting to see these names that I love, particularly Kirstie Alley, Amy Adams, and Brittany Murphy. And this is basically about a small-town beauty pageant where certain people are prepared to go to any length to win the crown, to win the title. And it gets, as you can imagine, deadly. It's not a thriller, it's a comedy. It's a comedy thriller, I guess, because it does get quite chaotic and dark at times when these girls are really fighting one another for the crown. But at the same time, it's quite fun to watch. But I think some of the events are a bit far-fetched and a bit over the top. But as long as you expect that, then I think you'll enjoy the film to at least some extent. If you're expecting an elegant, I guess, politically driven pageant film, and those do exist and they are good, that's not what this is. If you want something that's very easy to watch, because even though it's quite dark at times, it's easy to watch, with a good mix of characters, very well acted, decent narrative development that's often engaging but not always, then I think it's one that you'll enjoy. As I said, it's kind of an average film, but when you look at the casting and the costumes, it kind of makes it just that little bit more interesting. It's got a rating of 6.6 out of 10 on IMDb, but only a Metascore of 28, which is very low. So it's kind of mixed, very mixed reception to this film. So I'd love to know what you think of it, and if you think it's good, or if you think maybe it's just not worth watching. But personally, I would definitely say it's worth watching. I just don't think it's anything particularly special. But personally, I'm happy to recommend Drop Dead Gorgeous.